So today I want to talk about words and spells and shit like that, right? So what are words? Words is just a container that you can fill in with ideas, concepts, or emotional states, whatever, to describe something, right? And since everybody is different and everyone has their own personal experience, their own human experience, whatever, right? They will have their own interpretation of a word and what concepts and ideas goes in the word. And language is us interpreting our ideas or how we feel and trying to communicate it with somebody else via words. So a lot of times I feel like there can be miscommunication because of the different types of ideas that we fill our container with. For example, I can say the word happy, right? And your version of happy will be filled with a lot of more other different things than my version of happy. Someone's version of happy could be $5 billion and another person's version of happy could be an ice cream truck or something like that, right? So I'm trying to figure out, like, when it gets miscommunicated, we can be speaking the same language. We can both be speaking English and we will still be like confused as fuck. So sometimes I feel as if we have to take certain things out of the container and then see what that person is feeling in their container and their intent or why they're using that word. So you can communicate or respond or whatever to them in their language, because their language is their interpretation of that word. So that's why I think a lot of things can sometimes be a little confusing and shit like that. It's kind of like semantics and all that shit, but sometimes there's a lot of nuances that you kind of need to explain, right? So going back to the words being containers, right? So it's kind of like, don't let people tell you what you are. Because if you say like, I am James, right? My idea of James is completely different than your idea of James or your idea of me, perception, whatever. So I am not that. I just am, right? Like, for example, you are just you. You're not your profession. You're not your hobbies. You're not this. You're not that. You are not in a container. You are not a word. You are more than that, because a word cannot encapsulate your whole being. Like, that's dumb to me. That's like putting yourself in a container is like putting yourself in a prison, right? So you don't want to do that. And you don't want some other person casting a spell on you, which is a word, to put you in a prison. Yes, that's all I got. Ew. Anyways.